Hi, my name is Tash and welcome to Taste Like Home. Today we're going to be learning how to cook a chicken and broccoli pasta bake, an ultra easy way and with a lot less fuss. You ready? I am, so let's go. Okay, so to get started today making our chicken broccoli pasta bake, I'm just going to go through our ingredients. So obviously we need our chicken. I've got about 160 grams of chicken breast. You can use chicken thigh as well, depending on what's available and cheapest at the time. I've got dried pasta. I'm going to be using penne today. You can use any type of pasta that you would like. I've got about 160 grams of broccoli and cauliflower. You can add as many vegetables as you would like into this. I've got some corn flour over here, about half a teaspoon of minced garlic, some dried thyme. I've got about a cup of milk over here, 3/4 of a cup of shredded cheese, some chicken stock. I've used the powder version and just added some hot water to it, but you can also use the liquid version. I've got some melted butter here as well, and that's all we need for our pasta bake. Okay, for our first step in the recipe, we're going to season our chicken. So today I'm just going to be using salt, pepper and dried thyme. If you have any herbs that you like using as well, you're more than welcome. I know that onion powder would be good in it, paprika. If you like chili, you could add some chili into it. Today we're just keeping it a little bit simple. So I'm just going to do some salt and pepper. And then I've got my dried thyme here. And then using a spoon, I'm just going to mix that around. So especially because it is raw chicken, we've got to make sure we're careful. If you are using your hands to mix it around, you want to make sure you're thoroughly washing your hands afterwards and getting under your nails. You don't want to get any raw chicken that could be causing you to be sick or someone else to be sick later on. So once that's all mixed around and nicely coated, we're just going to move that to the side while we work on the rest of our ingredients. Okay, so next to our recipe, we want to make sure we're mixing the rest of our liquid ingredients with our flour. So first off, I recommend doing this all in a bowl before we add into our baking dish. That way we can just make sure that everything gets mixed thoroughly and we don't have any clumps of flour or anything like that. Especially because I'm using a penne pasta today, so because it's got the holes in it, it can also get clumps of flour in it. If you're using a spiral pasta or something like that, you won't have to worry, but just to make sure, I'd rather go through. So we're going to get our milk in here first. Pour it in, and then our corn flour. Now it doesn't really matter how quick you pour it in. I'm going to make sure I don't pour it in too quickly and try and spread it out so it doesn't get too clumpy. And then just using a fork, I'm going to make sure I mix that all together and thoroughly. So we want to try and make sure that we get all of our clumps of flour out. Depending on the chicken stock you have, I know I use boiling water with my chicken stock, so that'll give it a little bit of temperature and make it melt a little bit more. You just want to make sure you spread around and get any clumps of flour that might be on the side. That way, when you're biting into your pasta bake, you won't be getting a clump of flour. No one really likes that. Alright, so once that's properly mixed, it's alright to have a little bit of clumps on the side. We can mix that through later. So now I'm going to add my melted butter. Beautiful. My chicken stock. And my minced garlic. And by mixing it all together into the bowl first, we're just ensuring that everything gets in properly and mixed through. And then we won't have any of those clumps later on. Okay. As you can see, this is what my mixture is looking like, and about that is perfect consistency. And then we'll get to layering it all in the baking tray. Alright, so now we're at our layering stage. So we're going to get our dried pasta. We want to make sure it's raw, not cooked yet. We're going to put it straight in. If you like me, try and get it all in. That also helps. So once we've got that, we're going to try and spread it out. My baking tray is probably a little bit big, but then also your pasta will expand when it is cooked. So if it's like mine, a little bit big, then don't worry. Also, this is a great recipe to bake bulk in, and then you can freeze and store it. I'll have instructions after the video on that. So once we've got our mixed mixture over here, there's a tiny little bit of clumps of flour. Don't worry too much if you have some clumps. It will come out. We're going to pour that in. Like so. Beautiful. Alright, and then this is where we're going to make sure that we're being chicken safe. I'm going to use my spoon that's already in here, so that way I don't have to wash my hands afterwards. If you are using your hands though, I would recommend that afterwards you thoroughly wash your hands, and just look out for under your nails too. So then with my spoon here, I'm just going to start putting my chicken in and try and layering it on top. It's alright if it doesn't spread out, that's what we can use the spoon for. So I'm going to make sure, using the spoon, I'm not touching it, that I'm spreading out my chicken throughout. Okay. And then our next step is getting our broccoli and our cauliflower. So again, I'm just going to slowly try and spread this out in my baking dish. It'll all come out, spread it out a little bit. So without moving too much, that's what mine looks like at the moment. A little bit liquidy, don't worry, that will all cook through. So make sure it's all evenly spread, and at this stage we're going to leave our cheese for afterwards. We want our cheese to melt and cook through afterwards. So we're going to get our foil, and we're going to make sure we cover it all, tuck it in on the edges, nice and tight. I love how easy this dish is to make. Because now all we do is we pop her in the oven for 20 minutes and we see what she looks like afterwards. Okay, so once we've got it, we want to make sure we keep 1 minute on our hands as well, because our baking tray is going to be really hot and we don't want to burn ourselves. So when we get it, I'm just going to scoop it into bowls and it would be ready to serve. It's going to be really hot still, so just make careful not to burn your mouth. I know here at Cafe Social, we have our superstar barista around, Danny. Danny, would you like to come and try any of our pasta bake?
Yes, please. Hi, I'm Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel. So this is our broccoli and chicken pasta bake.
Looks really good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know how it is.
Usually I don't like broccoli, but I actually do like it now.
Thank you.
That's alright, thank you.
It's really good. 10 out of 10.
Definitely.
Recommend.
100%.